Hello, and welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Molly. My friend Kate, who owns the cutest baby boutique in Littleton, Massachusetts, texted me yesterday because she has a booth set up at a market this weekend and was like, I feel like you would love the market we're at. And I looked it up and I was like, you're right, I would love the market you're at. So this morning, after I finished making a little bit of progress on our bedroom refresh, I hopped in the shower, hence the partially dried hair. I've been using the blowers in the truck to dry my hair on the go here. But I grabbed my trusty shopping companion and Muscle, and we are on our way to Kimball Farm in Haverhill, Massachusetts to check out the Vintage Bazaar Market. So I'm going to bring you along and we'll see what we can find. From the bazaar. It was very toasty today. We did have a nice breeze, so that was the only thing kind of like cutting the heat, but it was a hot day for the vendors. So I think everyone was happy to start packing up this afternoon. We got there shortly after 1. We stopped by the Rosebud Jo booth to say hi to Kate and Mike, and then we headed straight to the food truck area to get a late lunch. It was actually really cool. They had a whole bunch of food trucks, drink trucks, coffee, lemonades, a bar. It was a really nice kind of area to grab something and sit and hang out for a bit. They had a bunch of tented like covered seating, and then people were just kind of hanging out on the lawn. There were lawn games, music, etc. But we ate quickly because on Sunday they wrap up at 3, so by the time we were done eating we had to briskly start walking through all of the booths. The nice thing about being there on the tail end is that everybody was packing up and they were happy to get rid of things at discounted prices so they didn't have to pack them up and bring them home. So lots of vendors were happy to haggle. I would definitely go back again and just spend a little bit more time, you know, actually shopping through each of the booths. I felt like I was just like doing quick scans to keep moving forward and try to hit everything. But I did find a couple of things which I will share with you. And then I will share a few tips if you are wanting to go to one of the Vintage Bazaar events coming up in October or December. First up, I got this really cute little like transportation puzzle from Rosebud Jo. I think she sells this online. If she does, I will include a link to this in the description so you can grab one yourself. I think it would make a great gift. I like to add things like this to my little kid collection when we have friends, kids visit, so I have something for them to do. This one was just like a really beautiful kind of watercolor illustration, and I love that like after it's built you can kind of like find different things in the picture with the kids. So this will come in handy for a rainy day, inside, out on the porch, and I'm honestly excited to play with it myself. Next find, I just like quickly popped into this booth as they were cleaning up and I saw these out of the corner of my eye. They are little coasters with this like beautiful blue and white. It almost looks like a hand-painted design. I'm not sure if you can tell. They're not terribly heavy, but they are kind of weighted, so I don't know if it's some sort of like tile or porcelain. And then it has this foam backing so it doesn't like scratch when you have it on a table. I saw the price from afar and I was like, I don't know. And then I looked up closer and I was like, oh, it's $3 for the set of 3. So I thought, why not? I love having coasters around. Matt has a really good habit of using them. I am terrible at them, and he's often just like casually sliding a coaster in front of me so that I can put my glass on top of it. So the more I have around, the more likely I am to reach for one, and these are beautiful with the blue and white pattern. The last piece I got, I have to come out to the porch here because I didn't bring it in yet, but I got this amazing ceramic garden stool. Now, I have been looking for one of these for forever, and they're often kind of pricey. You could use it as like a plant stand, you could sit on it, you could just use it as decor, but they're often in these like beautiful like chinoiserie patterns. And when I first spotted this, I was kind of like looking at it and filming it, and the lady was like, oh, she thought I was looking at something else. And then when I was like, oh no, I was looking at the garden stool, it was listed for $75, and you know, I was just gonna walk by and she's like, oh, do you want it for $25? She was just trying to pack things up and get rid of stuff, and I was like, casually like, oh, $25? I'm just looking at the stool.
Oh, yeah. That for $25 if you want it.
$25?
Yeah.
So I am very happy about that price, and I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to put it yet. I might honestly leave it out here. It could be like a good little seat for taking shoes on or off, but I'm sure it will move around the house. I just love the pattern. I think it's really pretty. I have lots of different blue and white things, so it works with a lot of the other things that I've started to collect. And yeah, $25 felt like a really good price. So for about 45 minutes of shopping, I'd say we did pretty well. And like I said, I would definitely go back and spend more time like perusing each of the booths and like really looking at things. There was a huge range of vendors, lots of vintage decor and antiques, local makers and businesses selling things like jewelry, clothing, soaps, textiles, you name it. So really fun to just shop around, get ideas for gifts. If you're shopping early like I do for Christmas, great place to start picking up Christmas gifts, and of course support local businesses. Real quick, Vintage Bazaar New England hosts 4 events per year: April, June, October, and December. The June event is the only one that's held outside. The other 3 are held indoors at the Rockingham Plaza in Salem, New Hampshire. So you won't have to worry about weather for those, but the rest of the tips still apply. Couple of tips. It's a decent sized event, and if you plan to shop and buy things, it is helpful if you bring a cart or something to pull things along. Especially today when it was really hot, it was kind of a pain to be carrying things around, so that big garden stool we kind of saved until the end. But even so, like once you buy one thing, your hands start to fill up and it's hard to walk through booths. So I would definitely recommend bringing a cart with you. I will include a link to one of my favorites in the description below. I've used it for Brimfield, I've used it for plant sales. It's really handy, it folds up, and you could even keep it in your car if you go to things like this regularly, so you always have something that you can pull around behind you to fill with your finds. This is kind of obvious, but it did not occur to me until we got there and I realized like, oh, it's kind of hot today and there's absolutely no cloud coverage. Wear a hat, bring your sunglasses, bring water, and wear sunscreen. My shoulders are a little bit toasty because even just in the short amount of time we were there, the sun was just kind of beating down. So if you don't want to burn out quickly, definitely be prepared for the weather, whether it's rainy, sunny, cool, etc. Lastly, I kind of alluded to this, but going toward the end of the event is when you're probably going to get the most deals. Oftentimes vendors are okay with haggling a little bit, but by the end of it, if they still have a whole bunch of stuff, they have to pack it all up and bring it home. So I would say give yourself more than 45 minutes to shop, but if there are things you have your eye on, walk around, loop back around, and see if they're willing to haggle when it's closer to closing time, because you might be able to get a really good steal on something you love. As I mentioned, this event is coming up again in October the 4th and 5th, and in December the 5th through the 7th. So add it to your calendars, keep it in mind if you want to do some shopping coming up for the holidays. That's all for today. Thank you for joining me on this very quick shopping trip. I hope you had fun, I hope you learned a little something, and I hope you have a new event that you're excited to check out later this year. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, click the bell notification if you want to be notified for future posts, and share it with a friend if you think it's something they'd like, and I will catch up with you in the next video.